Trying to make magic happen. Throw it end zone. Likely 2 feet down. Yes. Touchdown.
So, the first game of the NFL season between the Chiefs and the Ravens nearly went to overtime, but Isaiah Likely's feet were just too big. And you know what they say about guys with big feet, you know.
It's so big.
So I bet Isaiah Likely is wishing he had a smaller ding-a-ling. This could have led to the Ravens winning the game.
I got a small It's so small, I think it might be the smallest in the world.
Meanwhile, the NFL world is pissed at the Buffalo Bills because they allowed the Chiefs to draft the speedy wide receiver Xavier Worthy. As a Raiders fan, twice a year, I gotta deal with his skinny, speedy ass.
Little skinny guy. Like, he doesn't scare me.
That take did not age well. Hey, did anyone see Brittany Mahomes at the game? Taylor Swift used to sit with Brittany all the time, but maybe that has changed. Maybe Taylor Swift has blocked Brittany Mahomes because it's come out that Brittany Mahomes supports President Donald J. Trump. Looks like Brittany is gonna have to go back to sitting with Jackson Mahomes. Yikes. I am Wi-Fi Willie, your favorite amateur YouTuber with still less than 100,000 subscribers. Let's break down the true winners and losers in this Ravens-Chiefs primetime game. Trust me, we're gonna show a lot of cool stuff, but first we gotta pay the bills. Hey, I wanted to tell you about the sponsor of this video, Game Time. Game Time built a ticket marketplace that makes it faster and easier to get to your favorite events at a moment's notice. If you find tickets in the same section and row for a lower price, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Game Time also offers 24-hour returns just in case you change your mind. But my favorite new feature is Game Time Picks, which filters out all the fluff, only shows you the top incredible deals available. That way you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. So if you want to check out the Raiders' first game at Allegiant Stadium on Game Time, you can check out the Super Deal, which is one of the top deals available, this low seat for just $500. Whoa. And it's pretty cool that you can click the all-in pricing button. That way you see the final cost. There's no surprise fees at checkout. So take the guesswork out of buying football tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use promo code Wi-Fi Willie for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account, redeem code Wi-Fi Willie, that's WIFIWILLIE for $20 off. Download Game Time. What time is it? Game time. Our first winner is none other than Chiefs fans because of the refs.
It's reasonable to say that at some point the ref show in this game was a bit excessive. You agree?
Look, I hate to be that guy who complains about officiating, but that was the biggest storyline in the beginning of this game, is that it's already starting. It is already starting that the refs are just more willing to help out the Chiefs with flags. And in John Harbaugh's words that we can decipher, it is not being called both ways. Even God was hesitant to watch this game because he knew the officiating was going to be trash, and that is why the Lightning occurred before kickoff, causing the game to be delayed 20 minutes. Honestly, when are we finally going to put every single game in a dome? This is ridiculous. It's 2024. We can't let the weather determine football games anymore. Now, let me just say, to be fair, the refs did not throw a flag every single time they could have. There was a moment when Roquan Smith of the Ravens shoved Patrick Mahomes late out of bounds, and the refs did not call a flag. But this made the Chiefs sideline so heated that some random ass trainer even shoved Roquan Smith back. I don't know if this freaking trainer is any match for Roquan Smith. Luckily for the trainer, Roquan Smith is likely not gonna whoop his ass because he does not remember him, but he does remember this backup tight end that he wants to get back.
Whoever 88 is, I don't know who he is, but he better watch himself. Yeah, whoever number 88 is, I have no idea who he is, but I'll see him when I see him.
But there were tons of annoying flags in this game. Of course, there was a roughing the passer penalty that benefited the Chiefs and Mahomes, even though it was not a late hit, even though Mahomes was not hit in the head. And look, I understand that. I could live with the roughing the passer penalty at least once a game to benefit Mahomes. But these next two things were real bad. When the Ravens were knocking on the door of the Chiefs, about to score a touchdown in a favorable formation, and you knew they were in a favorable formation because the Chiefs called a timeout timeout right before they hiked the ball, but the timeout was called by defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo, which even the broadcast admitted that was against the rules.
Coach, nobody else can call timeout on the sideline except the head coach.
Only a head coach is allowed to call a timeout, but the refs let a defensive coordinator do it to help save the Chiefs giving up a touchdown. But to be fair, to be quite fair, we all know Andy Reid's fat ass could not have run down the sideline to call a timeout in time. So I was willing to let that slide. But in the beginning of this game, we learned just how awful the referees are going to be this year, and that is when they called an illegal formation penalty on the Ravens starting tackle four times just in the first half. Last year, we did learn a lot about this rarely called penalty in the first game between the Chiefs and the Lions because the announcers were baffled that the referees did not call an illegal formation on the Chiefs starting tackle Jawan Taylor.
His helmet has to break the waistline of the center. And to be honest, we've watched him the whole game. He's really not remotely close.
Last year against the Lions, Taylor did this multiple times and was not called for a flag once during the game. And while the refs were throwing the flag left and right for illegal formation against the Ravens, we saw the Chiefs starting tackle Taylor have multiple false starts and it not get called once during the game. Taylor was also guilty of doing the illegal formation in this game as well, but the refs did not call it one time on the Kansas City Chiefs. Instead, you had the Ravens get the call 4 times in the first half and then 1 time in the second half, but it was declined. For those of you who don't know what the illegal formation is, it just means that the lineman is too far back. His helmet has to at least be lined up on the ass of the center. John Harbaugh was absolutely livid in this game, and the lip reader detectives were able to see that he said it is not being called both ways. But honestly, none of these flags were too significant to completely change the game, and the Ravens made several mistakes that led to them taking a big fat L. The next winner is the backup tight end for the Ravens, Isaiah Likely. Anybody who had starting tight end Mark Andrews on their fantasy football team is pulling their hair out after last night because Mark Andrews only got about 14 yards. Meanwhile, Isaiah Likely balled out, getting 111 yards and a touchdown, and in this touchdown, he even channeled the high school version of Lamar Jackson with a quick little stop, allowing him to score easily. To top it all off, this winner, Isaiah Likely, even had some words for Chiefs fans after the game. Man, I just love this guy. Not only was Likely dominating in the receiving game, but he had a monster block, allowing Lamar Jackson to get some yards on the ground. But the final play of the game is what everybody will remember. In the final moments when the Ravens needed a touchdown to tie the game, many people thought Isaiah Likely was knocked out of the game after a high pass from Lamar Jackson caused him to get up pretty slowly. But no, this tough-ass dude got right up and was in the very next play where Lamar Jackson scrambled, bought some time, and found Isaiah Likely in the back of the end zone for what many of us thought would be a tying score, sending us to overtime. We all thought this was a touchdown. Several Ravens players still think it's a touchdown today.
I mean, I thought it was a touchdown. Absolutely, I thought it was a touchdown.
I thought it was a touchdown. Though. I still think it's a touchdown.
So it was called a touchdown on the field, but after further review, he was slightly on the white line. Mahomes gave Isaiah Likely some advice after the game.
He's got to wear white cleats next time. That's my advice for him.
But yes, Isaiah Likely's shoe size was just too big, and that is not what you want as a receiver when you're trying to get 2 feet in to get a touchdown. You want some small feet.
I got a small It's so small, I think it might be the smallest in the world.
But even though he did not score, Isaiah Likely had a badass game, and I know everybody is going to be taking this guy on fantasy football next week. The next winner is the Chiefs rookie wide receiver, Xavier Worthy. At first, we were told we should not worry about the skinny Xavier Worthy.
Xavier Worthy, he's a little skinny guy. Like, he doesn't scare me. I know he's fast, but he doesn't scare me.
But the 165-pound skinny Xavier Worthy scared the rest of the NFL as his very first play went for a touchdown on a jet sweep run. The Chiefs are definitely going to rely on Xavier Worthy this year. The Chiefs recently signed Juju Smith-Schuster again after he was released by the Patriots just before the start of the regular season, and it does not look like they can rely on Juju Smith-Schuster. The wide receiver was sloppy enough to accidentally post a penis pic on Snapchat this past offseason for the entire world to see. But in this first matchup, the wide receiver Juju had a nasty drop that could have easily been a touchdown. Antonio Brown, AB, Juju's former teammate on the Steelers, mocked him on X as he failed to reel in the pass. This is not the first time that AB has mocked Juju on X this year. He also mocked the previously mentioned penis pic just a few months ago. The picture was blurred out. Apparently, it was nothing to brag about. I bet the Ravens are wishing that his shoe size was catching that final pass instead of Isaiah Likely.
It's so big.
But Xavier Worthy out of Texas was the fastest player in the NFL Combine history, racking up a 4.22 40-yard dash time. In this game, Worthy was almost as fast as Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice while he's doing a hit and run in the offseason. Sorry, I had to go there since I'm a salty Raiders fan and Rashee Rice is still not suspended. Meanwhile, John Gruden is still out of the NFL after calling Roger Goodell some mean names. But remember, in May, the Chiefs were able to draft Xavier Worthy because the Buffalo Bills landed a trade with him. Yay, great for the Bills. They were able to swap a 4th-round pick for a 3rd-round pick by trading with the Chiefs and giving the Kansas City Chiefs and Andy Reid the fastest player in the entire NFL. The Bills have literally ruined it for all of us. Worthy also landed a touchdown reception on a busted coverage by the Ravens, a wide open pass for Patrick Mahomes. So in his rookie NFL debut, Xavier Worthy already accounted for 2 touchdowns. Surely there's no way the Chiefs are going to three-peat, guys, right? There's no way. Unfortunately, our first loser is quarterback of the Ravens, Lamar Jackson. After losing against the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship game, this was Lamar Jackson's shot at revenge. Remember, before the start of last season in 2023, Lamar Jackson was excited about his new weapons like Odell Beckham Jr., and he said he's going to throw for like 6,000 yards.
I think I told someone, like, man, I want to throw for like 6,000 yards with the weapons we have.
But fast forward a year later, prior to this opening game, Lamar Jackson said the Ravens would have beaten the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game if he could have run more and not throw the ball. He even said F throwing the ball. Obviously, that is not something you want to hear from your starting quarterback as a Ravens fan, that he hates throwing the football. But Lamar Jackson is a special case. He was amazing while scrambling in this matchup, racking up a whopping 122 rushing yards. Not only was Lamar utilizing his speed, but he was out there trucking fools like he was the Ravens' new running back Derrick Henry. I also love seeing him talk some trash to the Chiefs on the sideline. You rarely see a quarterback get that physical and in your face. But ultimately, to be that dominant elite quarterback that carries your team to a Super Bowl, you gotta be able to throw the football. And Lamar Jackson struggled to do that. Now, I will admit Lamar's offensive line was trash and he was under a lot of pressure throughout this game, allowing somebody like Chris Jones to get an easy strip sack against him. But there were so many moments when we saw Lamar Jackson have time to throw the football and he just couldn't do it. We saw him underthrow a pass to Zay Flowers that could have easily led to a touchdown. Lamar also famously in the final drive missed Zay Flowers while on the run, and this play could have been a touchdown that would have tied the game and send it to overtime. If you watch this game, Lamar Jackson had tons of overthrows. Some of them could have easily been intercepted. And on the final drive, like we mentioned earlier, he threw that pass too high that almost led to Isaiah Likely getting injured. That pass was wide open and also could have been a game-tying score. At the same time, to be fair to Lamar Jackson, the Ravens offense only existed because of Lamar Jackson's ability to use his legs, extend plays, and get some good runs. The Ravens receivers, really, none of them were impressive at all besides the tight end Isaiah Likely. But while watching this game, it just seems like Lamar Jackson is never going to be that elite, true dual threat quarterback like Josh Allen. I mean, Lamar Jackson still to this day has not thrown for over 4,000 yards once in his career. career. Meanwhile, Josh Allen has done that multiple times. The next loser was unfortunately the running back Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry was the biggest offseason addition for the Baltimore Ravens this year, and we did not hear his name much. On the first drive, we were able to get a touchdown out of the big running back, and we thought this is great. Yes, the combo of Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson running that read option will finally put an end to the Chiefs dynasty. No more Super Bowls for the Chiefs. But then, after this drive, the Ravens barely utilized Derrick Henry for the entire rest of the game. Henry carried the ball 13 times for 46 yards. Meanwhile, Lamar Jackson threw the ball for a whopping 41 times. Now, to be fair, the Ravens were losing in this game playing from behind, but it seemed like the Ravens cracked. They panicked and abandoned Derrick Henry rather than staying committed to the big running back. This could have kept the Chiefs defense honest. But this L does not fall too much on Derrick Henry as much as it falls on the Ravens coaching staff. And don't worry, Ravens fans, I'm pretty sure the coaching staff is going to give Derrick Henry the ball plenty next week when the Ravens face my Raiders at home. Yeah, it's just great. The next loser is Brittany Mahomes, who was nowhere to be seen throughout the broadcast of this primetime game. And no, I don't want to hear you Chiefs fans in the comments say, oh, this is not a big deal. Sometimes she's not shown during certain games. Nah, BS. She is shown a ton during all kinds of primetime games. Even when Taylor Swift stole Brittany Mahomes' thunder, you could see both of them together throughout the 2023 season. They were hugging and celebrating together. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes' wife and Travis Kelce's fiance celebrating together as the Chiefs win almost every single week. The two of them looked like they were really close friends, unless of course they were putting on an act. Because something must have changed. Well, a few weeks ago, Brittany Mahomes went viral for liking a post on Instagram that was the Republican Party's platform. All the news outlets were excited to report that Brittany Mahomes loves Donald J. Trump. And Brittany Mahomes responded to her haters after going viral, saying there's no reason your brain is fully developed if you hate to see others doing well. Go get them, Brittany. Brittany also went viral as she was on a podcast being asked about her going viral for supporting Trump, and she said she learned to not give a F. And Mrs. Mahomes also doubled down by liking a pro-Trump comment on her Instagram page. Wow, she really doesn't give an F. Donald Trump on his app Truth Social thanked Brittany Mahomes, saying, I want to thank the beautiful Brittany Mahomes for so strongly defending me and the fact that MAGA is the greatest and most powerful political movement in the history of our now failing country. So obviously many people speculated, hey, was this going to piss Taylor Swift off since she went viral in 2020 for baking some Joe Biden cookies during that election? And now it is absolutely going viral that Taylor Swift and Brittany Mahomes are sitting in different suites during this week 1 primetime matchup. Taylor Swift is literally distancing herself from Brittany Mahomes, and I freaking love this. This is perfect. This is what we need exactly. This is the divide that us NFL fans need to root for so it completely stops Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. I want to see Taylor Swift try to cancel Brittany Mahomes and let this completely divide up the Chiefs locker room. So let's keep this divide going. Let me know in the comments below. Are you Team Taylor or Team Brittany? I'm going to be breaking down more games. My name is Wi-Fi Willie. Subscribe to me for more content, please. Pretty please.